To the latest edition of the Stephen A. Smith Show, coming at you as I love to do every weekday over the airwaves of ESPN Radio, 250-plus markets across the United States of America, plus ESPN Radio on Sirius XM Channel 80, plus ESPN Radio simulcast over the live national television airwaves of ESPN.
Are those gray hairs that I see?
Are you interrupting my opening? Is that what you're doing? Yeah, it is gray hairs. What's the matter with that?
Hold on.
I am 51 years old.
Hold on. Hello? Yeah, this is Tex Johnson. Let me talk to Stephen A. Smith.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Did you know it was me, bro?
Yeah. No, I did not know initially. You're crazy, man.
Stop talking about my Cowboys, man.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Stay off my Cowboys.
I usually don't allow anybody to interrupt my opening monologue. But if you can't tell, I don't know what the hell is wrong with you. One of the biggest superstars ever in the world of sports, a 4-time NBA champion, a league MVP, the most dominant force we have seen in our modern day era, if not our lifetime, the one and only Shaquille O'Neal. Yo, man, those are some expensive glasses. That head is too big. Don't stretch my glasses, man.
I got it. Damn, you can't see.
Why we got to go like that? Why are you being so disrespectful on my show? Oh, my goodness.
You got the Cartier joints?
Yes, and you got to tell them a business, too. Everybody didn't know it was Cartier. Could have been Burberry. Could have been anything, man.
What's happening?
Can I do my opening right here? Can I get this out of the way, please? Right. The Stephen A. Smith Show, not the Shaquille O'Neal Show. The Stephen A. Smith Show is being brought to you by Credit Karma. Get your truly free credit scores and free credit monitoring from Credit Karma today. That's Credit Karma, K-A-R-M-A. And also it's time for Straight Talk, brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless. Best phones, best networks, no contracts. What's going on, big boy? How are you, man?
Good.
You all right?
You waking me up at 1 o'clock?
At 1 o'clock in the afternoon, that's waking you up?
I don't know.
1 o'clock in the afternoon.
I don't get up to 3:30.
How long do you stay up until?
Don't worry about all that.
I got to.
Don't worry about what I be doing.
I didn't ask you when you get up. Okay, you volunteered, so if you're going to volunteer that, how come you can't tell us when you're going to sleep?
Don't worry about all that.
Well, listen, one of the reasons that you here is to promote Zipa.
Yes.
You understand? Cure snoring now.
Cure snoring.
Jonathan Greenberg, listen, he's my doctor too. The man that's phenomenal, has done a great job for me to help me with my snoring. But how we gonna get into your snoring if you don't want to tell us when you go to sleep?
Oh, I go to sleep, but I'm just saying I don't like getting up at 11, 12. Bro, you know how far I live from here?
How?
I live far.
How far? Why you move so far away from ATL?
McDonough, Henry County.
So why you move that far away?
I'm just saying, because I got acres out there. Just like you got acres in New Jersey.
Why are you telling that? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about, Shaquille O'Neal.
Well, yeah, Zipa is Happy Z spelled backwards.
Okay.
And I see a lot of big guys out there, like that big guy in the front on the phone. I know you snore, big dog. So my advice is if you snore, go check it out because, you know, a lot of times when you snore and you have sleep apnea, you stop breathing that night. Right. And that causes a lot of other problems, like, you know, heart problems, hypertension. So it's really a life or death situation. So at first I kind of ignored it too, but once I met Dr. Greenberg, and because I met him through Instagram, and he said, "Do you want to die?" And I'm like, "What? I'll knock your ass out. Who you talking to like that?" He's like, no, come to my side. I came in his office, and, you know, he showed me all the studies, and you know, because he saw all the people, well, you know, Sharif, you know, putting me on Instagram, snoring all. He's like, hey, you need to take care of that. So everybody out there, check out Zipa and, you know, fix your snoring and make sure you go see a physician because it really is a life or death situation.
And listen, it ain't just one of those advertisements or whatever. We're being very, very serious because I use the same doctor myself and I use the same device myself because what happens is, for those of you who don't know, when you're snoring, your tongue is basically falling back. It's relaxed and it's falling back in your throat. As a result, it's blocking your breathing passages. So not only are you not breathing, you're not getting oxygen to the necessary organs, particularly in your brain. And as a result, it can compromise you even if you do wake up, and we got to hope and pray that you will. If you snore and you don't do anything to treat it, you got to remember it's really debilitating you to such a degree that you ain't anywhere near 100%. Obviously, that's not your problem anymore.
No, not anymore. So,
right.
Ever since I met Dr. Greenberg, I'm nice.
All right.
I might come back. All this money they passing out to these bums in the NBA.
All right. So what you? I mean,
I may come back.
Why you? Saying. You know, some people will look at you and they go like this. Damn, Shaq, why you got to be like that, man? Everybody can't be you. Everybody can't be dominant like that. Everybody can't dominate the NBA landscape like you.
I'm just saying, I'm so jealous of some of these contracts that's coming out.
Mm-hmm. I know.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
If you were Anthony Davis and they're offering you $5 for $240, would you leave?
No.
And you can only get 209 somewhere else?
I would say this to you. I would
Man,
say this.
hell no.
I
I'm
would say.
staying in New Orleans.
I would say to you, no, that is true. And for those, let me tell a little history about you. You were once in Orlando.
Yep.
You were going to go to Los Angeles, which you ended up doing, but you made sure Jerry West and Dr. Buss knew, look, you got to come up on them funds. You want me to depart from Orlando to come to L.A., and they found those necessary funds for you at that particular moment in time, right?
That's business.
That's business.
So in Orlando, they offered me one price. L.A. offered me another price. I just took care of business. Mm-hmm. But if you can get the most playing, staying with the team, man, I'm staying.
So what is that? So what does
$240 for 5?
That's right. But what about those?
What is that for all you smart people out there?
$240 for 5.
Somebody
You know
do
what
the
I'm
math
saying? I mean, do the math. It's over $40 million a year. It's around $48 million.
Wow.
It's around $48 million.
I'm keeping that money.
No question
in
about it.
New Orleans, because listen, $40 million in New Orleans is different than $40 million in L.A.
L.A., that's right.
Yeah.
The taxes in L.A., you take in the federal income tax and you add state income tax, it's about 51% of your dollars right there. Let me be clear. I already did that math.
And you forgot one person.
What's up?
FICA.
Oh.
FICA.
We don't even know what the hell FICA is still. We grown men.
Yeah, I don't know.
And adults, women. But let me ask you this question.
Yes.
Because when we talk about Anthony Davis, and we'll get into the Super Bowl and all of that stuff. Listen, we in the ATL for Super Bowl 53. It's this Sunday night, New England versus the Los Angeles Rams. We'll get into all of that in a second and as the show progresses. But you know what? Listen, you can wave all you want to. You're on the show with me, man. Focus, okay? Here's the deal. I can get on Shaq like that. That's my brother. I can do that.
You didn't even see that, did you?
No, I didn't.
Where your glasses at? See? You got to pay attention, man. See, I gave you the fake out movement. Bob took the card. See, you wouldn't have never even known.
So you're a thief.
See, I'm not a thief.
Okay.
That's not stealing.
Let me ask you, Dr. Fine. Let me ask you this question.
Go ahead.
Anthony Davis talking about going to L.A. What are the advantages in your estimation? I understand what the disadvantage is because you just brought up the money, the 5-year, $240 million he could get from New Orleans right now. If he went to L.A., obviously it wouldn't be that much. What are the advantages for him going to L.A. with LeBron in this day and age?
Definitely more TV games.
Okay.
More exposure. More wins.
Okay.
A possibility of winning a championship, but in my personal opinion, I still don't think they have enough for Golden State. Mm-hmm. Now, if you add Kyrie to that makes it a little bit more exciting. But listen, it's a bigger market. The nightlife is better. Everything's better.
What about the endorsement opportunities to make up for what you left behind in New Orleans? Someone make that argument.
Well, listen, if I can get that plus listen. If you a bad boy, you're going to get the endorsements wherever you are, right? Mm-hmm. Just because you go to L.A. don't mean you're going to get more endorsements. Mm-hmm. You may get certain opportunities like, movie roles and, stuff like that, but you really ain't going to be able to make that $240 up. $240 for 5?
$240 for 5 years. Oh,
what's the math on that again?
Are you ready for about 48? And not only that,
40 what?
About 48. But do you remember this? Do you realize this? If he were to stay,
yes,
not just through this season, but through next season, do you know he could sign for 6 years at over $300 million, becoming the first $300 million player in history in New Orleans? Did you realize that?
I didn't know that. And you want to leave that? I ain't going nowhere. I ain't going nowhere.
But he ain't going to win playing at the Smoothie King Arena.
Sometimes you just have to listen. I learned this from you. You told me if you want to be great and want to be going out as great as you got to step up to all the challenges. Mm-hmm. That's it. So if you're not going to win. Learn how to win. You get on the phone and, get people to come play with you. But I'm not turning down the $240. But it's not me, that's him. I wish him well.
When we sit here and we look at the NBA landscape as we speak, it seems to be Golden State and everybody else. And once upon a time, I had a lot of faith in the Lakers. Now I'm obviously not so sure. I will say this. Oklahoma City has shocked the living hell out of me. Paul George looks like a superstar. We know what Russell Westbrook can bring to the table. And the fact that everybody seems to know their job and know their role seems to be something that's working for them. You don't consider OKC or anybody else in the West a threat to Golden State?
I do consider them a threat. But, listen, Golden State has been there. They've done that. They've dominated. You added another piece that's hungry to win the championship. It's going to be a tough series. However, like if you ever get in one of those series where Russell can be dominant and Paul can be dominant at the same time, you never know. It could, may turn out to be a hell of a series. But Golden State, they just have too many weapons. They have a lot of weapons where their top guys don't have to have great nights for them to win.
Anybody in the East can challenge Golden State. Toronto, Boston, Milwaukee, Philly.
Not yet. Maybe.
I think Boston can.
Well, Boston has to play right. They're obviously having some internal problems. The young guys are not happy with their roles because it's like, hey, we can play too. So
and Gordon Hayward, they tried to reingratiate Gordon Hayward back into the mix. I think he's compromised them to some degree. Not no disrespect to him. He was a nasty injury, has to come back. I think he'll be much better next year, but he just ain't ready now to run with those thoroughbreds.
I agree.
So to me, why is Danny Ainge and Brad Stevens insisting on playing the man? Because you gave him $131 million?
Something like that.
Something like that.
Yep.
Does that make you think Toronto can take the East?
Listen, Kawhi Leonard is a bad boy. I've always said he was the second, third best player in the league. He's definitely a bad boy. But the missing link there is Kyle Lowry. He always seems to, disappear during the playoffs. So hopefully this year, this will be his year. And I like Kyle. I want to, see him doing well. But a lot of times in the playoffs,
it's small.
You don't hear from him.
Yeah, no question. Shaquille O'Neal right here with Stephen A., ESPN Radio, ESPN News. So when we look at, before I get on to you, when we look, get off my comb, man. You don't need it. You ain't got no hair. You don't got any hair. Okay, here's the deal.
I have a question.
What?
If I get a man weave, would you talk about me?
Yes.
But just like little waves.
I would talk about you.
Why?
I would talk about you. Because what the hell you need it for? You got a big head.
Because I want my hair back, man.
Look, what you trying to do? Be primetime Deion Sanders?
No, just wait. I want to look.
Are you ready for this?
That?
Can I tell you?
Where my man at?
Listen,
right there.
Listen, man.
My man right there in the Steelers.
I hear you.
Yeah, I want my beard,
Are you ready for
hair.
this? Are you ready for this? I got something to tell you.
Yep.
Because it's going to make you laugh at me. You're probably going to call me out about it.
You got a man weave?
Do you know I'm thinking about going to Hair Club for Men or something? Wherever Deion Sanders went to get the hair done.
I just seen him. He looked beautiful right now. He looked really good.
I'm thinking about it. I'm like this. How the hell he go from being bald to all that hair on his head? I'm considering it, man.
Yeah, but with the man weave, you can have your joint done about 3 hours.
I want no man weave. I want my own stuff growing back, man.
Have you seen it? They put they put like the super glue jammy and then they fade around. It look real. I'm gonna do it.
Really?
And you better not say nothing.
You just haven't tried. Please.
I'm gonna do it this summer.
Stop. You lying.
This summer.
You lying. Why would you do that? You don't need it.
I want my hair back.
Why? What's going on? Are you having a midlife crisis that you want to tell us about?
Actually, I am.
Why?
Why? I'm always on the gram. So at first I was
You're rich, you're famous, and you call yourself big sexy all the time.
Listen.
So what's the problem? You were lying about the confidence.
I'm on the gram, and I seen the man weave the process how he did, and the dude came out looking good. I was like, I want that, and I'm gonna get it. And you better not say nothing. I'm telling you right now.
Of course I'm gonna say something, Shaq. Of course I'm gonna say something.
I'm gonna do it.
You know what? I'm going to leave it alone because you got some nerves telling me not to talk about you when you always try to do. This man, Shaquille O'Neal, ladies and gentlemen, reaches out to me at least once a week trying to coax me into talking about somebody. I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to leave it alone. He's always saying, get on him, get on him. Let
do it right now.
Say, no.
I got 100,000 right now if you do it right
now. No. I'm not going to do it.
Can y'all guess what we talking about?
Dwight Howard. Oh, Lord.
Oh, stop. See, get out of here with that. No, that wasn't
Leave it alone.
No, I don't.
$100,000. Shaquille O'Neal. This is you. It wasn't me. No. It was you. You always trying to get me to talk about. I'm leaving it alone.
No,
I'm leaving it alone.
Don't believe that, America.
Listen, here's the question. In all seriousness, we watch a great show on television at least twice a week. In Shaquille O'Neal, with Charles Barkley, with Kenny Smith, with the great, incomparable Ernie Johnson. What's that been like for you, man?
It's been fun. Thank you for coaching me every now and then. But, what makes that show great is they allow us to utilize our humor.
Mm-hmm.
We figure if we're going to keep you up at 1, 2 a.m. in the morning, we want to make you laugh. Charles going to say what he wants to say. I'm going to do something crazy. And I just think it's a great dynamic for us.
I swear to you, in all the years I've known you, I have never in my life seen you laugh harder than you laugh when Charles Barkley starts talking about them women in San Antonio. I mean, you can't help yourself. You won't. You always egg them on, too. It's just unbelievable. I mean, Charles Barkley, the only time that Charles Barkley almost fell out my chair, he was talking about the women in San Antonio, and he said Victoria is a secret. That's what he said. I almost choked on my Crunchberry cereal when I heard that one.
he said, they don't wear drawers, they wear bloomers.
He's ridiculous. Charles is crazy. But I'm saying, looking at your career, and I mean, what commercial don't you have?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
No idea what we're talking about. You do everything.
No,
you do everything. You're all over the place.
I'm not. Stop it.
Really?
I'm not.
Really? Have you thought about slowing down? When you gonna slow it down and fade into the sunset like some of these athletes swear they want to do?
Look, I'm already retired. I'm just happy to be in the place where I'm at, and I owe it all to my mother and dad. Just they always told me coming up, just listen, be respectful, and be nice. And look, I just love where I'm at right now. But if it does go away, I had a nice run, and I'm very educated. I have things to fall back on. And my thing now is just helping people, and that's why I teamed up with Zipa, because you don't want to see people have problems from snoring. So my mother always told me, make them remember your name, and I just want to make people smile and make people happy and make people laugh.
You've always been like that. I've always marveled at that about you. You got a great personality. You like to laugh and tell jokes, make people smile. But you damn sure weren't that way on the court.
Oh, no.
You were dominant on the court now, and didn't like a lot of people and just would abuse them on purpose. Yes. A matter of fact, you admitted that you lied on a couple of people just to get an attitude about them and to destroy them on purpose. Why would you do something like that, Shaq?
Because David Robinson was my favorite guy. When I was in high school, I tried to pattern a little bit of my game out. Because, David liked to run like a stallion. And when I was young, I used to like to run. But he was too nice for me to beat up. So I just had to made up that he didn't give me an autograph so I could be mad and just try to destroy him. And I did.
Yes. But didn't it bother you that you were on the court with him knowing you had lied on him and had everybody thinking that the Admiral was some disrespectful dude to little kids going to come up?
Every time I used to play against GP always used to do this. You know what that means?
What?
I mean, when I turn around with the elbow, I'm trying to knock all your teeth out. I want your whole mouth bloody. That's how I play.
That's how you play?
Yeah.
Do you feel or do you lament the fact that you don't see that in today's game with most of these players? Or do you think the league has stripped the players of that menacing persona about themselves because, obviously to keep the game all safe and everything like that?
Kenny made an interesting point.
Kenny?
Kenny Smith made an interesting point. He said that a lot of guys are products of their environment. So, for example, when I was growing up, I'm watching Ewing, Robinson, and Keaton, guys that played inside. So when I started playing inside, guys start, fading out to bring me out of the paint. So a lot of guys, they grew up watching Kevin, Tim, Dirk, and all these guys. So that's how they practice, and that's how they played. So I think, the days of the dominant post are pretty much done.
But what about the persona? Like, for example, I'm looking at a guy like LeBron, and, obviously he's considered the best in the world, but he get along with everybody. Whereas you had cats back in the day, whether it was you, even to a lesser degree, Kobe and others, y'all weren't trying to get along with people. Y'all were trying to destroy them. What does veterans, retired guys, Hall of Famers, champions like yourself feel about the culture of today's modern day athlete?
I mean, obviously it's different, and the culture all around is definitely different. And I try not to really mock the young fellas because they're doing it their way. And I remember when I came in, I did it my way. Like a lot of guys thought I was out of my mind when I was doing movies and doing rap albums and all that stuff. So I try to stay out the guys, but the difference is LeBron, he does like everybody, but he competes at a high level. I think people enjoy watching him play. So I think it's okay. But
why did you just sit here and lie to the American people? You just finished saying you don't mock people. What? Shaq and the Fool is one of the funniest things on television.
That
ain't mocking people.
That's them.
That's you.
That is
it
them.
doesn't work without you. If you're not mocking them, no. That's you.
Listen, they make the mistake. It's going to be on social media.
And you highlight it. And you highlight it. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell y'all a funny story about one of the Shaq and the Fool. My favorite Shaq and the Fool moments. Otto Porter is playing for the Washington Wizards. He is playing defense. He is on the right wing. And on the Shaq and the Fool moment, evidently, he forgot that he was on a basketball court defending somebody. The dude he was guarding ran all the way from the right, all the way to the left link, and Otto was just standing there the whole time. So Shaq is laughing, and you know what made it so bad? You could hear Ernie Johnson screaming in the background laughing, and Kenny Smith, who's just the epitome of decorum. We got to see that again. That was you. You did that.
It wasn't me. It was them.
That was you. That wasn't you.
They make the mistake, and I just re-show it to America.
How many times?
A lot.
Is it not a hit show?
A lot. Yeah,
is it not a hit show?
It is a hit show.
It's good to see you, big boy.
Nice to see you.
Zipa, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Greenberg's right over there. Come on over here for a second, sir. Let's see this man on television here, helping to cure me of my snoring, Shaq of his snoring. It's good to see you, buddy. How you doing? How's everything right here? Dr. Greenberg, for those of you who don't know, check out Zipa. Happy Z spelled backwards. He's right here with Stephen A. and your boy Shaq. You know what? I don't let anybody come on the first segment of my show, particularly sit in and steal my thunder. You know I don't do that. I made an exception for you.
Thank you. And you have a great-looking audience, too, by the way.
They do look good.
Yes, you guys
they do look good.
Yep.
They do look good. You know, I see the rings and stuff like that. I like that.
Who you like in the Super Bowl?
I'm going with the Patriots.
Okay, cool.
I might change my mind by tomorrow, but I'm leaning towards there.
Is Tom Brady the GOAT?
I have to give credit where credit is due.
If he loses, is he still the GOAT?
I think he still is.
I'm
9 Super Bowls, 5 championships. You know, I don't know what the hell Max was talking about, saying if he loses, you count against him and all that stuff. I wasn't buying that.
Hello? Yeah, this is Tex Johnson. Let me talk to Stephen.
Stop it. Trying to pretend to be a Cowboy fan. And why would you call up to defend the Cowboys?
I'm a Cowboys fan. Always been a Cowboys fan. Stop it. Stop it.
Really?
Yes. When I was young, I wanted to be Ed Too Tall Jones.
Doc, let me tell you something.
Yes,
I want you to say it when I say this to this
fan.
man, because I swear to God, if I was big enough, I'd put him to sleep myself.
Who's your team anyway?
Steelers.
The Giants?
Steelers.
Where you from?
New York. I'm a diehard Steelers. The first football game I ever saw was the Immaculate Reception by Franco Harris.
You didn't see that game.
Yes, I did. I was 5 years old. I was 5 years old. I was 5 years old. So you can remember stuff with your mom and dad, but I can't?
Okay. You're right. My bad.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
What was the score of that game?
I don't remember.
Yeah, see?
I don't remember.
I
don't remember. But I remember the Steelers won the game.
All right, cool.
That's all that matters.
Yep.
All right? By the way, I need to talk to you about, because I need some jewelry, because I like the jewelry you be wearing. You know, thank you, Doc. Appreciate the help with the snoring. Happy Z spelled backwards. Zipa. That's the product that obviously has got Shaq getting some nice, productive sleep. What?
I didn't know that we had a celebrity sitting in the. Turn the camera around to the dude with the Charlotte jersey on.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, Stephen D. Smith? Stephen D. Smith?
Nope.
That's what he is?
Nope, Delonte West. Delonte West, what up, boy?
That's bad. That's bad. That's bad.
Delonte, what up, boy?
That was St. Wireless B-Spot coverage on America's largest and most dependable 4G LTE networks. Thanks to Dr. Greenberg and